You're watching HuffPost Live. I'm Alex Miranda. Acapella group Pentatonix had a meteoric rise over the past few years, winning the reality show The Sing Off in 2011 to now being one of the biggest pop groups in the world. And earlier this year, they took home a Grammy for their viral Daft Punk melody cover. Their songs have had more than 1 billion views on YouTube, and now the group's self-titled debut studio album is vying for the #1 spot on Billboard charts. I'm very happy to be joined right now by the Pentatonix, Scott Hoying, Mitch Grassi, Kirsten Maldonado. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh, I told you that I was going to mess this up. Avi Kaplan and Kevin Alushala. See, the one name that I thought I might mess up, I get right, and then the easiest one I totally drop. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, we at HuffPost Live are so happy to have you guys here.
Thank you.
You are amazing, so talented, and right now this is going to be an album of your originals, which is really exciting for your fans because we've basically have been hearing covers from you guys. So what is the difference in putting an album of originals out as opposed to cover songs?
It's a lot scarier.
It is scarier, yeah. I would say there's just an extra step because we still we basically write the songs maybe on piano or guitar and then we just take those and cover them, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and also, I think we're trying to make a statement in terms of who we are now as a band, as an artist, because before I think we figured out our sound through covers, but now it's trying to take that sound and utilize it for what we actually want to say. And so it's been an interesting process figuring out what we want to say and then conveying that through our a cappella sound.
Well, that's what I was most curious about. So when you're sitting down and you're co-writing this album, you do have to finally say what you want to say. So
Absolutely.
What is it that came to you as you were with that pen or typing on your phone or in your computer? What was it that came to mind?
I mean, the songwriting sessions were amazing because we sat down with the songwriter and we just had a heart-to-heart and talked about everything that was on our minds that day. And we ended up writing all sorts of different stories. I mean, there's a song that was inspired by my nephew where we wrote love songs, and we wrote a lot of songs about just being yourself and having no inhibitions and just singing, you know what I mean? And so there's a lot of different messages on the album.
Kirsten, what about you?
I just think it's really great because we are also different with our musical tastes, and so I think we all just brought a lot of different things to this album and storylines as well, and I feel like it's all come together and a lot of different people can relate to what we're saying, and it is exciting to finally just be able to, have a voice and say what we want to say. It's really cool.
And I love that the first single is Can't Sleep Love. And when I saw the name for the first time, I was like, I wonder what they mean by that. And then I heard the song. And it's so funny because, yes, there is such thing as a Can't Sleep Love. I think it's so cute. Why was that the first single? Why did you guys decide to lead with that?
I feel like that song is the most accessible and the most transitional in terms of what we do and how the pop world will embrace us, you know what I mean? I don't know, it has a coolness factor, but you can still tell that it's vocal, so we haven't lost our sound or what makes us special and niche.
It came together really easily too, so I feel like after it was all said and done, we were like, wow, this is really, like Kevin said that to Scott, I think he was like, I think we have it, I think this is the one, this is special.
Absolutely.
So it just really lent to our sound.
How do you know that you have it? I feel like with a cappella, it really does have to click more than anything else, in a sense.
Totally.
So when you feel it, we've got this is a great song, let's put it on the album. How do you know that that's...
Oh my gosh, that's such a hard thing.
It's hard to put into words.
I feel like it has to have everything. We have to be able to sing it well. We have to be able to relate with it. And we have to be able to feel like it's going to translate to not just a cappella fans, but anybody, We don't want people to think, oh my gosh, that's a really cool a cappella group. We want people to think, oh, this is a really cool song. Oh my gosh, are they using their voices? That's awesome, that type of thing.
The song has to work in a minimal vibe. We have to find a song where, like a Royals, that could be a cappella because it's just a very minimal song that works. That's how it's supposed to be.
How does the jam session start? How does a song come from birth, in a sense? I mean, does it start with just one of you guys going, hey, I'm feeling this right now, or is it now words that you start off with? How do these songs?
It's a lot of improv. Yeah, it's a lot of improv. We'll have the beat going. We could demonstrate it if you want. But we would like the beat and the chord progression, and then we just have 2 background parts that we arrange, and then the solo lays right on top of it. And it's actually a pretty simple formula when you break it down. It's really cool though.
All right. Well, you guys have collabed with some of the best artists out there. Who do you still want to collab with, and what have been some of your best experiences so far? Meeting these artists that you guys have like respected all these years, coming out of high school together,
Right.
which is such an amazing story. But tell me about that.
I feel like we have a long list of people we want to collaborate with. We all have such different musical interests, so we have lots of people that we are really inspired by. But working with Jason Derulo, who's he's featured on our album, was one of the most amazing experiences because he's so professional and his vocal prowess was so impressive. It was a one-of-a-kind experience to be able to be with him and see how he works in the studio.
And it's a part of this surreal experience I feel that you guys are having, and in the documentary that you guys have out, about how you guys have gotten together and who you are at this point in time. At one point in time, somebody says, and I couldn't tell quite who it was, can you believe that we get to do this for a
That's
living?
Kevin.
Kevin. So
absolutely.
that I think is so great that you were able to put that out there and that you had that feeling. When you think about that, what comes to mind? Because all of this has happened in only the past few years. And this group, the way that it is now, was just formed a day before the audition for the sing-off. So tell me about that.
I mean, it's such a feeling that it's hard to. I mean, I'll say these four. They had been pursuing music all their lives, and so for them to get to be able to do it every single day is kind of a blessing. And for me, I mean, I never had an idea that I was going to go into music at all, and so for me to be able to do this, it's very, very surreal. And then with these four people, I mean, just the chemistry, the camaraderie it's truly special. And I think all that, combined with the musical abilities, really, I don't know, it's just heartwarming, if you will. It's really soothing to the heart to be able to get to do that every single day.
What is the chemistry like? Outside of the music, outside of the interviews that we watch, when you guys are just hanging out, vibing, what is it like? Describe that for me.
I mean, I think it's definitely like a family, and even more than that. I mean, not even more than that, but we are a family and a team. We're always working towards this common goal, and I mean, we go through everything together. We're with each other constantly, for good and bad, and so it's a really cool experience to get so close to people. You learn a lot about people in general, but you also learn a lot about yourself, and it's really cool to be able to go on that journey with other people that really love music just as much as you.
So what is it then that you guys have learned about each other and about yourself? Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh, it's tough to get into specifics.
I feel like we've learned how each of us works and what makes us tick, and what to say and what not to say. But I don't know. I feel like we've come to a really fluid way of working that allows for efficiency and just the best product that we can possibly create.
Yeah, our group's like a healthy marriage.
Yeah, it really is.
Keep it that way. Do everything you can.
We know each other so well, and we just like work very well together. We know exactly what we can say to certain people and how to balance it all. And it took some time to get there, but
Yeah, totally.
What are then the tougher aspects of touring? And you guys have mentioned a couple of like the really good ones, but what are the tougher aspects of getting out there in a group of 5? I mean, that's a lot of people to be moving around all over the country at one time.
For sure.
it's just hard to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Hard to stay healthy, hard to be away from loved ones, hard to be around the same people all the time. I mean, even if you are 100% in love with the people you're around, if you are with them 100% of the time, it's just bad news. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that, I mean, not even just us, like the crew members. And like,
yeah,
you know what I
everybody.
mean?
Like
yeah,
enough.
Yeah, it's like being around your
It's like a
siblings
marriage.
24/7.
But it's always fun. I feel like every tour we've like added new crew members, or like even when we were on Kelly
Right.
tour, that brought a completely new dynamic. Like it's always really fun and different every time a little bit, and so yeah.
What about dating? How is it when you're out on tour, when you're in a group, and now all of a sudden you're world famous? How does dating change?
How does it change?
I'd say
Yeah.
it's lots of FaceTime, I mean, the great thing about the world that we live in now is that we have all these social internet type tools to be able to connect with loved ones. So I mean, with Facebook, with Twitter, with all those things, with Skype, you can connect. So actually, I don't think it's as difficult as people say. I mean, yes, the physical contact, you might not have that as much, but
Yeah, I also think it's really healthy for a relationship in a way, because you're missing that person so much. So it's like so fresh. When you see them, you get so excited, and so you never feel like the fire is
Like it's
burning
stale.
out.
Yeah. In addition, good songs come out of it. I mean, they wrote
good songs
Misbehaving.
come out of it.
Yeah, they wrote Misbehaving from the album. It's kind of about that a little bit. So.
Well, then tell me about that. Tell me what we can expect from this new album. What if fans haven't heard it yet, what they can look forward to.
Oh my God.
Very, very
Everything,
eclectic.
yeah.
I think it has something for everybody, you know, because we all are so very, very vastly different, and we all have vastly different musical tastes. It has a little bit of everything on there, you know, and it's all brought together by the fact that we all just sing with our voices, and he does the beatboxing, and it's like, it has this sound, but it's very eclectic, and it fits together in this very interesting way. So I'm excited for them to hear.
And because all of you are using only your voices as your instrument, that takes a huge toll, I can imagine, and you really need to recoup. You have to take care of your vocal cords. What is it that you guys do specifically? Because there's so much use of your vocal cords to put these songs out there, and especially to go on tour. How do you keep them in good shape?
Drink so much
Drink
water.
so much
Like
water.
hyperhydrated.
That's
Like
the number
how
one
much?
thing. Is like a ton
like
of
disgusting
water.
amounts.
Like our tour manager will be like, we'll go into a green room before we get there and be like, make sure there's like 72 bottles of water. Because that's probably how many we'll need for that day. Yeah, we just consume a lot of water and get a ton of sleep and just try to stay healthy.
Well, yeah, you learn a lot about yourself. I feel like as we've been touring, like I used to like want to hang out all the time, but sometimes if my voice is really tired, I have to like be like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed and just like chill out. So you kind of figure it out. It's different for every person.
Well, here at HuffPost Live, we love to loop in our community that have questions for you guys. Our first one is from Patricia. Patricia, what's your question?
Hi guys.
Hey, what's up? Shirt.
First oh yeah, I just got it yesterday.
So cute.
Cool.
Well, first I want to point out and say how proud I am of all the success and recognition y'all are getting.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
So my question is, during this album, did it turn out how you expected? And if not, what surprised you most about it?
I don't know if we went in expecting anything really,
Yeah.
but I can say for sure that we're definitely really proud of the product that we created.
Yeah, I think it turned out a little bit different than expected. I feel like it's way more eclectic than I thought it would be. But I love that about it, and I'm super excited that happened.
Why do you think? Why do you think it's more eclectic this time around than before?
I think we just really just tried to write everything that we possibly could just to see what works for us, what, you know, all of those different things, and put all of our favorites on there. It wasn't like, oh, this doesn't really fit the vibe. It was like, this song is awesome. It should be on the album.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like the writing process is best when it's just free-flowing ideas and words coming out. You're not trying to make it one specific thing. Like, all the songs on here were inspired by stories or feelings, and it's just very true. And I feel like that's why it is so eclectic, just because they weren't trying to write in some specific vein.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
And Patricia actually thinks she has a second question. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Oh, we love Patricia.
Yes, I love y'all too. So my next question was, how do you feel knowing that not only are your fans becoming friends with each other, but they're also becoming a family as they bond and share through your music?
I love
yeah.
that. That's one of my favorite things about what we do is
Completely.
the fact that we can like make people happy and bring people together. Seeing y'all's camaraderie on Twitter and like seeing y'all meet at shows and be best friends and all have the same t-shirt on that y'all planned, and like stuff like that really, really warms our heart. I mean, we did a show in Japan once and all the fans had planned ahead of time and we didn't even know that they were gonna like put this light up in the air on Standing By, and all these like, red lights just came on in the audience during the performance.
So cool.
And it just brought me to tears. And the fact that y'all are so passionate and y'all like love each other and know each other is really, really special.
It really is the whole concept of a fandom is really fascinating.
It's amazing.
And there are many artists out there that have plenty of fans, but there are certain artists, and you guys are definitely in that category, that have these like rabid type fans that just love you, that absolutely
Yeah.
love you, and it is like a family.
Yeah.
Let me get a couple of your reactions to that. I mean, when you see like the response online and everything, are there moments where you're like, I cannot believe that you guys care this much, and you guys like
Absolutely.
love us this
Yeah.
much?
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's just really special too, just because they have been so loyal for so long, and they've built this entire family together, and it's just really cool to grow with them. Like, we've had our own journey, just, you know, with the five of us going along, but it's like we're sharing this entire experience with them just because they have been so active, and we wouldn't be where we are without them, and they're just so amazing. I feel like everyone can kind of say that about their fans, but they're so great.
But I will make the claim that
so
I think that our fans are seriously the nicest of all the fans.
Yeah.
I
They
would
are
say that
nice.
the
They
culture
are
is a
nice.
very good culture.
Yeah,
That's a
they
very
are.
positive culture.
Very
They care a lot.
positive,
Yeah.
and like, I mean, even when we were up against others in the Grammys or any type of situation where we're against another artist, they're always very supportive of all the other artists too.
Absolutely.
It's really cool, and it's super inspiring to see our fans be such good people.
Speaking of other artists, so in the beginning, I feel like you guys were competing, and especially, of course, on the Sing Off, competing with other a cappella groups. But now you are competing with literally Demi Lovato and Machine Gun Kelly and The Game, and all vying for like the #1 spot of all the charts.
Right.
So does that change the way that you approach your music and the style and maybe the lyrics or the sound? Has anything changed considering that you know where you are at this point?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean a little bit, but the thing is about it is that we've always been a pop group, so we've always been going towards that, and so now I feel like we're just getting better at doing it. I think that we've always known that is kind of our vibe. We have some soul involved, some R&B, and all those other things because we are all so different. But I feel like we've always been a pop group, and so we're just kind of harnessing that and really refining that now.
It is kind of unbelievable though when you think about it. I mean, in just, 3 years?
4 years.
4 years at this point, yeah. A cappella groups, very niche, but you guys have brought them back into light, and we don't see that happen very often. Straight No Chaser did for a little while.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if there were any specific a cappella groups that really inspired you guys and you like to reference or anything like that.
I don't necessarily know if it inspired us as a group, but I mean, we definitely listened to a cappella groups. I mean, Take 6, obviously, Manhattan Transfer. I mean, there's some great groups out there that, they kind of led the way so that we could even be able to do what we do. And with today, I mean, with so many TV shows like Pitch Perfect, movies like Pitch Perfect and TV shows like Glee, and I think that kind of made a cappella more aware in our kind of global community. And so it gave us an opportunity to have a platform to showcase what we do, and people say, oh wow, this is cool. I've kind of understood this a little bit because of these other TV shows and films. And so it's kind of just a good base for us to be able to do what we do. So we're very thankful.
So it's a renewed interest in a cappella, you think, as opposed to just, Pentatonix striking a chord,
Yeah, it's a combination of things, but I think another thing was the fact that YouTube is so huge and there's like millions and millions of users, and people loved covers too. And so it was also that we were able to do what we do and show the uniqueness of it on a platform where we could connect directly with fans and give them content immediately. So I think that also helped resurge a cappella.
And one of those fans is Shakayla, who has a question right now in our HuffPost Live community. Shakayla,
Hey, what's up?
Hey! Oh God, I'm so nervous. God. Did this album turn out how you expected, and what surprised you most about this album?
Surprises most. That's a tough question.
I mean, it definitely, I feel like it exceeded our expectations. We were really proud and happy with it. In terms of what surprised us most,
I think the sounds that we were able to produce with stomps and claps and vocal noises was really, really. I mean, I was kind of impressed with ourselves because we really had to push, and but I think we made something really great and something we're really proud of.
I think something that surprised me is the quality of some of the songs. I feel like some of the songs I'm so inspired by and I'm so connected to, and it's just so, and when I think about how we wrote them and when I listen to them, I'm just brought to tears. It's just like it was so much more of an emotional experience, this album, than I thought it would be.
It all started though with a cover of Lady Gaga's Telephone, right?
Yeah.
We can trace like the whole story back to just like that one video. Do you guys ever I'm sure you do on occasion, but do you guys ever pull it up and just watch it in the middle of the night at any point in time and just think to yourself, wow, like if we only knew in that one moment in that little room, it's kind of oh my gosh, I didn't even know we had the video.
We filmed that yesterday. Like, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Yesterday. The anniversary of it was like yesterday or the day before. I saw it on my time hop. It was like filming a telephone trio video today.
Oh, weird.
Oh, crazy.
So when you watch it, what do the three of you feel? I mean, what kind of comes to mind when you're taking a look at who you were just a few years ago with the brown hair, by the way, Kirsten?
Always amazing.
I mean, I remember that day so specifically, and it's just it's weird that it's turned into this so quickly. It's been such a whirlwind.
Did you have any idea that anything like this
Not
would
at
happen? Because sometimes artists say, I knew it. You know, like for example, Lady Gaga herself would say something like that. I was born famous. This is what I was meant to do. Did you guys
Yeah.
have any feeling that this would happen?
I mean, I wish. I think it'd be cool if we like knew, but we didn't. We were doing this for fun. It was like a radio competition, and it was like totally off the cuff.
Yeah,
And
at the time it was just about the joy of singing that and doing it with friends. Like Scott and I had just gone off to college, so we came back and did it with Mitch, and it was just fun to do. And then when we did the show, we were just like, hey, this will be really fun. How exciting would it be to be on a television show? I think like we're like bigger than we've ever dreamed. Like that's in Royals, and we like made it a moment. But it's so true. I feel like that quote really defines our group, just because we've always just been working really hard, and had like high goals for ourselves. We've never known how far this could go, and we're just really blessed with opportunity to be able to have done this in like 4 years, and we just hope it continues.
And part of that success is, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, is the fact that you guys are so active on social media. And Superfruit is like the greatest YouTube channel of all time, which of course is the two of you guys just kind of, I don't know, like
Just
doing
talking,
just
bantering.
talking and
Yeah.
bantering and singing and stuff like that. Tell me about that. What kind of a difference does it make for a group when you engage your fans in that way?
It's so important. I mean, it's important to let your fans know that you're real people. You're not just a product of the music industry, and that you have personalities, that you care about certain things. You have really weird interests and quirks, and you know, it's important that you're relatable to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think-
George, by the way, has one other question for us.
George.
A part of the HuffPost Live community. George, what's up? What's your question?
Hello.
What's up, George?
Hi. Oh, there you are.
There you go.
I've been a huge fan ever since the Sing Off days. You had me hooked. Ever since Love Lockdown, I was.
Oh.
Okay, so I just had a question that's been bothering me ever since I heard Sing, and I love this song. I love your entire album. In Sing, on the last chorus, there's some whistle notes, and I've been dying to know who is it that does the whistle notes. And the production on the album is really great.
Oh, those really high ad-libs? Ad-libs?
No, it's just overtones.
Yeah.
It's either overtones, but they're on the last chorus. I am ad-libbing, like the all that stuff. But it's not whistle notes. It's just a high falsetto thing.
Oh,
Nice.
But yeah, and it might be a little bit of Mitch too. There is like a million ad-libs happening at the end of that song.
Yeah.
There's like hundreds of them
hi-oos.
layered.
Yeah.
What are the most difficult sounds to reach? I mean, I wouldn't even know the lingo. What is like the most difficult thing to do with your voice to imitate, you know, something else?
Singing whistle notes really, really accurately and like riffing in the whistle register is extremely difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all depends on what voice you have, like what voice type
Right.
and what you're trying to do with it. I think it really just depends.
Guys, thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Thanks, George, for the
Thank
question.
you.
Thanks so much to the HuffPost Live community. Of course, again, Avi, Scott, Kirsten, Kevin, and Mitch were here again for coming on. And the self-titled album Pentatonix is out now. Stay tuned. There's so much more coming up on HuffPost Live next.